Hello and welcome to the People's Manifesto Special. Now, we've actually got a proper political story now, as in the last couple of days both the Labour and Tory parties have announced their actual manifestos. So we're going to have a look at them, and unfortunately I haven't memorised the documents, but I've got them up on the screen next to me, so there may be a bit of me looking at the computer through this broadcast, but hope you don't mind. And we're going to start with Labour, as they announced first, and they're already up on the screen. And the message of the whole Labour manifesto is a future fair for all. I'm sure you've noticed the kid who looks surprisingly like Tony Blair on the front cover of the document itself. But having a look at it, it doesn't really seem to be doing anything that it says it's going to. I mean, the messages are, as it says in the title, a future fair for all, and also that Labour will be reformers of both politics and the banks. Let me just check that for you. Reformers of financial markets and public services, sorry. And but the plans for this don't really seem to change anything. I mean, no rise in income tax, that's not a reform, that's again keeping things the same, and not really fair, because the whole point of an income tax, really, a progressive income tax, is to redistribute wealth and make things more fair. If you're not going to change income tax to make things more fair, to redistribute wealth from the top to the bottom by investing it in public services, then it's not really fair. So Labour not really doing what they say on the tin. And no extension in VAT to food and children's clothing, fair enough. I mean, it's a bit... doesn't really go in with the whole fairness idea completely, but taxing children's clothes is not taxing children's clothes I can get behind. There's not really much on being reformers of financial markets. In fact, nothing I can really see. So, in terms of relentless reformers, it don't really seem to be telling us what they're actually going to do. And reforming financial markets is not really something that political parties, especially New Labour, which Peter Mandelson seems very keen on linking Gordon Brown to. Peter Mandelson himself said that Gordon Brown was one of the architects, with him and Blair, of New Labour. And New Labour has been very concerned with pleasing a city, so being reformers of financial markets isn't usually what they do. Right to recall MPs, I think everyone's saying that, and it's really just a way of jumping on the bandwagon of the whole MP hate because of expenses, which I've already talked about. And the interesting thing is they want a referendum on a democratic House of Lords and a new voting system. And this is and there's a point that the Liberal Democrats brought up. They said, can we really trust Labour on this issue? Because this is all stuff they said in 1997, and in 13 years of government have never really actually done. So, yes, it's a good idea. I've talked about democratic House of Lords, talked about constitutional reform, and I think it should be done. But I'm not sure how much we can trust Gordon Brown on this issue. So, moving on to the Tories, and they announced their manifesto with, I've got a picture of it here, this huge banner over a power station saying change, and it's very much they want to be seen as reformers and a new way of doing things, a new Britain. Do they have a clever quote? Okay, they want to be seen as optimistic and people power is so we're going to have a look at people power in their manifesto. Okay, community right to bid to run post offices, and this kind of smacks to me of stealth privatisation, a bit like the right to buy in the Thatcher idea. Again, not really different Conservatives. The modernising hasn't gone too well, has it, Dave? And so I'm not sure if this is really people power or just giving power to people, to a few select individuals who have the ability to run these things. I've not looked over the plans in detail, but that's kind of what it smells like. And David Cameron, in his speech when delivering this manifesto, said that he doesn't want more state or individuals. He wants communities, people power, the big society, which I actually haven't seen any evidence of personally. It's something he likes to talk about a lot, but hasn't really said how he's going to achieve it at all. So, smacks a bit of stealth privatisation, not really people power, just more kind of big business power, people with money power. Eliminate bulk of structural deficit over a parliament. That's kind of something that all politicians want to say. I mean, I can't honestly see any party saying, I want to leave the deficit alone and possibly make it bigger. cut £6 billion of wasteful spending. Already talked about that. Cut number of MPs, again jumping on the MP hate bandwagon. Annual limit on non-EU economic immigrants. This again is an this is an anti-immigration thing, sort of standard Tory stuff, and nothing really different from any of the parties. I mean, Labour's definitely making immigration an issue in their fight to not lose their core to the BNP. Give voters power to sack MPs. So I'm doing again, Labour. Scrap ID cards. I think that's something everyone's really doing, either for civil liberties or they just don't want to pay for them, because ID cards, aside from being a step on the road to fascism, are incredibly expensive. MPs to vote MPs get to vote on repealing hunting ban. That's not really change. Well, it's change back. But I don't really think that's what David Cameron wants to say. He wants to seem progressive, and this is moving forward. Sorry, not forward, moving backwards again to a kind of era where the rich ran around in strange coats, shooting animals. It was on horseback. So not really the progressive change the Conservatives want to do. Raise stamp duty threshold for first-time buyers. Not really a huge change. And you look at both these manifestos. I mean, when I saw the Labour slogan, "A future fair for all," I was thinking, yes, yes, finally, maybe some idealism, maybe some change, maybe people are listening to this vlog, and I've only had to do it for a week. Then I read it and realised it's not really a future fair for all. It's just kind of more twiddling the knobs. It's not... Sorry, trying to get the screensaver. It's... Again, twiddling the knobs and no real change, no real difference. Again, with the Conservatives, no real change. It's not even really twiddling the knobs. It's just the kind of obvious things that people expect. I mean, there's a quote from someone, I think it might even be my politics teacher, who said that, or some political blogger at least, who said that we don't really vote for change in this country. We don't vote for political reformists. What we really vote for are caretakers, people to just look after things and keep things going as they are without things exploding in our faces. And that's not what politics should be. Politics should be a place for ideals, for battles on the shape of a progressive future. And I'm going to kick myself for saying this later, but I don't care if you're even a radical rightist, someone who believes in huge privatisation. At least it's a debate, at least it's something different, and we can decide on whether that's the direction we want to go. I want to see a Labour Party forcefully fighting for the poor and the downtrodden. I want to see a Conservative Party fighting for private companies, fighting for the people, for their back, fighting for their traditional base, fighting for traditionalism, social conservatism, and Labour for progressive systems more accepting of minorities. I want an actual ideological battle. I want a debate. I want us to look and actually have a choice in the direction we want our society to go in. The Lib Dems occupying somewhere in the centre, maybe a bit like social democracy like we used to have, a bit of nationalisation of key industries to allow us to have minimum services. 1983 was one of the greatest elections in British history, not because of its result, Thatcher got in, but because there was a real battle. Michael Foot on the idealistic left, Margaret Thatcher on the idealistic right, and the SDP offering a bit more of traditional social democracy. A real choice that Britain had in the direction it wanted to go. That's the politics I want. A politics of idealism and choice. Thank you.